Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. On today's episode, I actually had a really bad day trying to collect fresh bait to go do some shark fishing and ray fishing in the bay. A lot of my viewers and subscribers often ask me, do I have bad days on the water? Yes, I do have bad days on the water. I am an angler, just like any other angler. There are good days and bad days. On this particular day, I was trying to fish for American shad. What had happened is these shad are done spawning, but they are still hanging around my local river. I particularly like fresh bait when I'm going shark and ray fishing compared to frozen bait, and I have found that American shad make great shark bait out in the Bay Area. So, on this particular day, I was trying to target American shad. I went to one of my favorite local spots where for many years I have known that these shad will stage in this particular area after the spawn. These shad, although they are done with the spawn, I found out that many of them look like they're at the end of their journey. Like many anadromous fish, like salmon, these fish are probably not going to make it back to the sea. They are spawned, spent, and skinny. Many of them are actually sickly and have lost much of their scales. I was hoping that I was able to catch a few to use as bait, but they are not feeding. Neither are they grabbing any offering I was throwing at them. So afterward, I decided that I'll film them and show them to you guys that they're still in the river system, despite what many would believe. Afterwards, I decided to switch up and to target striped bass. I will be fishing the Dorayuki 60S Spearhead Minnow. The color I'm throwing today is a baby salmon smoke color, and the tackle I'm using today is an ultralight setup, due to the fact that I was planning on fishing for shad, but I'm not afraid of landing stripers on this ultralight gear from this river, particularly because I have done so in the past. In the summertime, I will fish almost exclusively single hooks. It is because I plan on releasing many of the fishes I catch, and unless I'm retaining any fish, I won't be fishing a treble hook. I finally ended up hooking this nice schoolie sized striper. Contrary to popular beliefs, these stripers in the river late into the season will have honed in onto the natural baits of the river, and I have caught many of these fish on ultralight lures and ultralight setup, particularly because I believe they are feeding on the river's natural food source, which often will not be very big. These fish, often many times I will find them be keying in on smolts, or small bait fish such as pike minnows and hardhead. Many of these fish in this river system during this time of year will seldom be above 3.5 inches or 5 inches at most. Therefore, when I match the hatch, I will often get a lot more bites than throwing a much bigger lure. Not to say that they won't strike a bigger lure, but I've caught plenty of fish, decent sized fish, and lots of keepers and schoolies with these small minnow plugs. This fish is actually pulling pretty hard. He might be a decent sized schoolie. I've often landed quite many of these fish on ultralight gear, particularly when I'm trying to target fall run steelhead. I will often hook into these schoolies, resident schoolies or migratory schoolies that have come up the Sacramento River to the lower American river system. And just as I expected, this is actually a very nice schoolie, probably about 20 inches. Put up a great fight on light tackle. I love catching these guys on ultralight. They fight so hard. They fight almost like a 10-pound bass on this ultralight tackle. The one other question I get asked a lot too is, do these single hooks actually stick fish pretty well? Well, it depends. I find that with stripers, single hooks will stick them just as equally well as treble hooks. As you guys can see, this fish is hooked pretty well with the 2 double single hooks. This is actually a very nice schoolie. I'll show him to you guys real quick, and then I will let him go. He's nice, bright, and pretty healthy for a fish that's in this river system. Typically they are on the skinnier side, but now off you go, buddy. Thanks for playing. Overall, today was a failed day. I failed to catch bait for a shark and ray fishing trip, so now I guess I will have to resort to buying frozen bait. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, tight lines y'all.